Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Hello, world out there. Adobe Live in the house. Martha Bergmann in the house, especially. The one and only. She's here with us today and the next 3 days.
Yes.
Super fun. We're going to talk about UX, UI design. We're going to be using Adobe XD. Super excited to be here. Are you excited to be here?
I am. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, we're both
it's
like,
really good.
we're like
really
vibrating
excited.
in our seats. Like, we're so excited.
We are.
I don't know why.
I don't know. There's good energy here.
Yeah, it's just
feels
really
good.
It's really fun. So,
Yeah.
welcome everybody. Anita, Tim, and John, and Mitch, and good to see such familiar names. And this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So again, 3 full days. Hang out with us all 3 days would be wonderful. We'd really appreciate it. Always love hearing where everybody's from, and we'll give you like a shout out, especially if you're new. We want to do a bow, I don't know, or something if
we
you're
could
new.
do something like that.
Can we do
I like that. Yeah, we just do a bow. I like that.
What is that even? But I just like want to honor everybody if you are new. But people will be filtering in, and it's good to have you here. I kind of want to click through the schedule if I could really fast.
Yep, go for it.
And so everybody knows what to expect this week on Adobe Live. Again, we have the lovely Martha Bergmann for 2 hours with myself. She'll kind of go through her app that she's going to be working on today. Christine Lee as well with Michael Shays, Rovane Durso from 1 to 3, and Selena Wu. So this is your first time meeting a lot of these people. Again, UX, UI designers, accomplished in their own right. So check them all. Give them a warm welcome today. Give Martha a warm welcome. And welcome to you, Gerard from Germany. And we got Thomas Benner. There we go. Sorry, I couldn't. Guillermo. I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name, but Michael will come down here and tell me how to pronounce it. Tanya White from North Carolina. Good to have you here. Denver in the house. Rachel, that's where I'm from. And where did you come in from?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. Represent.
Yeah.
First time we've had somebody from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Represent. I love it.
I know. I'm excited.
I'm excited that you're here. Yeah. So if we kind of switch gears and kind of dive into this.
Yeah, sounds good.
I say we go ahead and show your, not my screen. Sorry.
Perfect.
You're lovely. There we are.
Yeah, so I just
Digital designer.
I'm a digital designer at Progressive Insurance in Cleveland, Ohio. So just thought I would give kind of an overview. One of the main things that I've worked on at Progressive is the website and their quoting platforms. So this is an example of something I actually worked on at Progressive as part of their homepage. So I was responsible for kind of trying to figure out how to put all these products on the page, make it really simple, make it intuitive so that customers could come in and then they could, start a quote with all these different products.
Yeah.
So that was something that I worked on at Progressive. And great company. Love working there.
Good.
Yeah,
Good to hear. I mean, lots of eyeballs on this too, by the way.
Yeah,
you probably have plenty of opinion. Like if you're dealing with a homepage of anything of this scale, that's a big undertaking.
Yeah.
That's a lot of selling in internally.
Yes.
And then see how it plays out.
Yep.
With analytics later on.
No, definitely.
So
that was definitely a very fun project to be a part of there. So.
And by the way, if you are interested, you could always there's under next to the chat tab is info, so you can kind of click through, give Martha a follow, and you can see her other work as well. Mm-hmm. So we'll kind of bring some of that up. Mm-hmm. So this is good.
Yeah.
What's the plan today then?
So I thought before we dove too much into it, I would kind of give an overview of what the process is like. So, with the process for UX UI, usually start with your business and your user goals. And then you do some research, and then you start doing a sitemap and user flow, sketching and wireframes, and then working on copy. Yes, exactly. I'll kind of run through some of that too. I did a lot of the preliminary kind of beginning UX stuff, so I'm going to go through that while I'm doing the UI. So I'm going to be focusing more on the visual design, and part of the process too is after you create the visual design, you have to make a style guide, do some components, and then make specifications for developers. So Adobe XD actually just has this really cool feature with design specs, which we've been using at work, and it's just changed our process. So it's been really great to use that.
Hey, good to hear. Well, that's fantastic. And this does seem like a lot.
Yes.
The big thing is the short of it is we have some sketching and some wireframing done, and then we get to work on a fun project today and over the course of the 3 days. Welcome, Axel. Heck of a nice nice guy. Appreciate having you here, as well as William. And Stephen, what's up?
Very cool.
I'm glad you did this, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
Kind of outlining the difference between UX and UI. You can kind of talk about it, and I would love it if chat could just kind of come up with maybe a succinct definition as well.
Yeah, I would love to hear that.
The two.
Yes.
But yeah, can you, I don't know, just...
Yeah, so I kind of split between, what I talked about in the previous slide and what features and what items were UX and UI. And since, this is kind of interesting to be able to tell the difference between the two, a lot of the UX is, very focused on the planning, and then the UI is more of just like how it looks and how it feels. So.
Yeah. So, you could have UX without UI, but you can't have UI without UX.
Correct. Yeah.
Would be the idea. I think it's like the sort of the user experience could be like headless,
100%.
for instance.
Yeah.
When I think of, Alexa, I think of apps that really could just rely on notifications.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest with you. I have a motivation app, and all it does is feed me quotes every day.
Yeah.
I never go to the app. I just like the fancy quotes.
Exactly.
So.
No, and the UX is fun, it's fundamental. That's the foundation of any, it's the experience.
Yeah.
So that's the most important part.
So we're looking for a good metaphor. If anybody has a good metaphor for me, the difference between UX and UI. Always like hearing everybody's opinion on how they differentiate the two. I want to know, how do you differentiate the two? And quote app is called Motivation. So I had another one by the same company, and it was all about serving up random facts.
Oh,
and some of the facts were wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What is it? Beethoven did not write... or maybe actually it was Mozart. He did not write Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star.
Oh.
And they said that was one of the things. I'm like, no. And then I just deleted it. I'm like, I don't know. This is outlandish.
Yeah, you're like, this seems to be,
This is outlandish. I can't. That's not going to help me.
No.
That's not going to help me impress people.
Exactly.
If they're wrong facts.
You'll find out later and they'll be like, you told me a lie.
Ooh, Arthur says UX is the structural engineer.
Ooh.
That is very good.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of like planning out the building.
Yeah. I feel like I've heard engineer used to describe design roles too, the engineer. So
okay.
It's interesting.
That is good. Keep it coming. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then
So basic gist, we're gonna see what happens. We're just gonna kind of go with the flow. But the basic overall thing we're gonna do is take a look at some of my preliminary work, the notes, my sitemap, wireframes, and we're going to kind of jump into a color palette I put together and the typography, and then we're going to start jumping into the UI.
Fun. I love it.
Yeah.
Our plans will quickly get derailed by day 3.
Yes.
No, I don't know. So this might be the only time you see this slide. But not to worry. I do want to, so this is fantastic. Maybe we'll take a look at your sketches in a second, but I also wanted to kind of show and kind of talk about essentially just, we're going to do a random giveaway.
Perfect.
By the way, just FYI.
Yeah.
So that'll happen shortly. Actually, in about 20 minutes.
Cool.
So random giveaways today, just so everybody knows. We have fun socks, by the way, over the course of the next 3 days.
Yep.
Adobe XD coveted socks, as well as this fun sketchbook with stickers and then a pin that you could easily put on a jean jacket. Bam!
Yeah, exactly.
Like we were talking about.
Yeah.
This cool sketch kit as well. So this is stuff that we're going to give away all week. So thank you for joining us. There's also a challenge tab that you can check out. I'll talk about that later. But I want to dive into getting work done.
Yeah, let's
shall
do
we?
this. Yeah.
It's time to get paid.
Yes.
As I like to say.
Exactly. Exactly.
Let's get work done. And I can show this whenever you want, by the way.
Awesome. Yeah, so I think we could
Maybe I'll represent the socks just
like that.
right here.
Yep, I think that's good. I love that. Just to make this look nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, do I have the right page up? Because you've done some work. What's the
have.
plan today? I don't even know what the app is or the.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna be looking at doing a national parks travel planning website actually. So it's a mobile website, and then we'll be doing mobile and then desktop just to look at the responsive. So this is my very rough notes. It was really hard for me not to just like rewrite this all and make it look pretty, but I just thought, this is what it looks like sometimes when you're just getting down. I was doing, lists and trying to figure out like what the content would be, what I wanted to focus on. So looking at like different activities, and the park that we're going to be focusing on is Yellowstone National Park.
Oh, Yellowstone.
So we're going to be looking at that. I went there for my honeymoon, actually, and loved it. It was beautiful, so wanted that to be the focus of, this experience. Yeah, so.
Has anyone been to Yellowstone there? I've not been to Yellowstone. So that's why I need this app, because this is all about sort of like planning. You're going to go on a trip. You're going to go there. You might want to do some hiking and some biking and fishing. You maybe want to watch out for the grizzlies.
Yep.
You kind of want to see one, but from a distance.
Exactly. It's all about the safety with it. I know my husband and I were really sad because we were like really hoping on seeing a grizzly bear, and we did not see one in the wild. And we saw lots of black bears, which was still really cool, but
that's true. So you saw black bears.
Well, a ton of black
really
bears.
Cool as well.
Yeah. So it was really fun.
Axel likes it. Axel, I appreciate you because you are always so positive, and I just appreciate like everybody usually hears like, yeah, go get it.
Which is awesome.
Like we're sensitive. We're all sensitive designers.
We are.
Like we're sensitive.
I put my work out there.
Yeah.
my really rough notes.
And by the way, I want to do a shout out to Thomas. This UX is similar to HTML that sets the content. Like this, maybe the structure of everything.
Yes.
And then the UI is like CSS.
That is a wonderful comparison. I agree entirely with that. Like you can't just have CSS without having your HTML. Like it would just be nothing.
Yeah.
So
that's so good.
I love that.
Provides the structure and then CSS. Fantastic. So you can potentially win these socks, by the way. So just hang out with us. And this looks like fun. I think this is going to be good.
Yeah.
And I think the visuals will be fun to work with.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Is there anything else? I'm just kind of playing with these.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what I should be doing.
No, it's good. Yeah. So then I guess the other place to start. So I did, that was like my brainstorm word map kind of thing. And then I went ahead and I kind of did a site map. So this is again where I was trying to refine of like what we wanted to focus on. So looked at, activities, looked at what the National Park Service website had, looked at like features in the park, animals, and then there's categories like lodging, food, maps, and whatever. But the overall goal of this website was to make it simple for a user to be able to research a trip to going to a national park. It's all about like empowering the user. We want them to feel very confident in the decisions they make, and I think like that empowerment is our goal. And the ultimate goal is to make it easy for people who want to visit in the off seasons. So I know like when my husband and I went, we wanted to go when there weren't a lot of people. We ended up going in late April, early May, and it was still winter in Yellowstone. And we weren't quite aware of, it might not be the best idea to camp because it can get into like 20 degrees, things like that. That would be really nice to have. So
this is going to be interesting.
Talking about that a little bit too.
That is good. So I like that. And I like 1,000 different ideas are going through my head right now too. Because again, it's like if I first launch the app, like you're planning a trip. Like what are the peak times to go?
Yes.
Like how long are you thinking about going?
Yep.
I love it when you have those travel guides that say you have 1 day, do this. You have 3 days, do this stuff.
Exactly. Yep.
So that's really fun.
Yeah.
So it's the plan. This is yes. This is the plan.
Yeah, very cool. Yep. And then I just did some really, really basic sketches. This is what it looked like before I took it to the computer, and actually did all of my wireframing in Adobe Photoshop. So I'll be showing that in a minute. And so just, don't be afraid to just make it messy and just get your ideas out there and just not make perfect straight lines. Just get it on paper.
Question.
Yeah.
Are you going to call on me? Yes?
Yes,
okay.
yeah, go for it. What's up?
In the front. Is this for all national parks? It's for Yellowstone specifically, right?
I think, Yellowstone specifically. Cool. It's something that we could say could be expanded later on. Okay. But we're just going to focus on Yellowstone for right now.
Cool. And so as we dive into this, I think what everybody's good at, a lot of sharp people here, is like if we need like a name for the app or something that, we can kind of see what everybody has in that case.
I like that. Mm-hmm.
But it looks like you already done some work on your screen as well.
I have.
Can we switch to it?
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Yep. Definitely. So this is my more idealize like, wireframes. So did a couple explorations. I can zoom in here. Looked at just like breaking out the information. I knew there was going to be a lot of imagery since that's like really significant when you're talking about a national park. You want to get people to go there and see what the different, activities and features are. Mm-hmm. So these were some old, explorations, and then I ended up kind of like refining it a little bit, working with a grid. Looked at this is probably going to be like our main homepage, and then this is how it would be responsive as well.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So again, this is a website design.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So it should be cool.
Man, look at you. And done. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I know,
but like,
exactly.
I love that you've done a lot of this work. You're working in Photoshop, which
Yes.
is good. And,
Yes.
Whether you're working in Photoshop or XD or even Illustrator, kind of, we don't care. Like, whatever you're used to is what I typically would say.
Yep.
Because you can bring those files in and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I was super excited that you can bring Photoshop files into XD now. So we're actually gonna do that.
Yeah.
So
very cool. So hopefully everybody caught that, because that's just like within the past month, we gave you the ability to bring in a PSD into Adobe XD. All the layers come in, all that fancy stuff. Even if it's a sketch file, if you're working in Sketch, you can bring that in as well, which is cool. And that brings in all of the, symbols and all that fun stuff. So Ibrahim's in the house. Good to have you, my friend. Awesome. So yes, we do like all these. It's fun because you've done a lot of this work, kind of laid out a lot of this content. This is going to be good.
yeah.
What's next? Like, what's
next?
Are you going to,
So I would probably start putting this into XD now.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I can start, pulling in images and writing the copy, setting the type, and figuring out what exactly we're going to put where.
Yes. So. Okay. And by the way, since we were talking about features, that was bringing in PSDs, sketch files, features from last month's release. And there was just a release this morning. So make sure you go up to, your Creative Cloud desktop app and hit update. So that's just like right here. So the updates include, since you asked, Jim, we have basically password protecting prototypes.
Ooh.
So if you're doing something internally for Progressive, you could password protect it so it just doesn't get out anywhere.
Nice.
Some more advanced bringing sketch files in. Like, we're working on that process of bringing in as many features as possible that are if it's supported in XD, you could bring it in.
Nice.
But anyway, so there's more. There's a long laundry list, but I did want to say just go ahead and hit update. Oh, thank you, my friend. Some other things. Advanced, the ability to search the assets panel is probably another popular one. But we'll get into that later. Just hit update and then we'll talk.
Yeah. All right. So I guess the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to take the wireframes from the Photoshop file and we're going to pull that into XD. We're going to open it from here, I think. This is actually something we'll go through later. My mood board.
Ooh.
So then we can see.
Your mood board.
Yes.
Rasim, welcome from EE. Does that mean European Union or something else? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now it's putting it all in.
Where? I'm like, whoa. What did you just do?
Oh, sorry.
No, I think it was so easy that I'm realizing there was supposed to be more steps.
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds. So I just went and I opened the Photoshop file in XD and there it is. And the greatest thing is you can completely edit it. So all of the lines and the shapes are editable. So that's really cool.
David, welcome. Good to have you here. So hopefully everybody caught that. So all you did is just you just saved the PSD and then you went to what? File open?
File open, and then you just pulled in the Photoshop document, and here it all is.
I think people are gonna people almost might miss that if they're not watching now. Like, are they gonna know they can literally open up a PSD? So from a marketing standpoint, I'm sure there was a conversation of, hey, let's do file open PSD right underneath open, which is totally not a good idea. No. It would just be a marketing thing.
It would. Yep.
Don't do that.
Nope.
But you could just open up a PSD.
You can. Yeah.
And how many dialogues did you run into?
None. So even here, it's like, I can't import these 2 items, but I can import this one.
Yeah.
And that's how you can pull it
Anyway,
in now.
I know I work for Adobe, but I was really excited about this. As a Photoshop user, I'm like,
it's so nice. Yeah, because XD is great. So
thank you.
Nice. I love it. It's so simple.
Thank you.
It's
I didn't make
part.
it.
Yeah. No, but I love
welcome.
using it.
They are upstairs, and today we'll have like Lindsay Monroe from the XD team. She'll be here this afternoon joining us.
Very cool.
Done and done. All right, so cheers.
Yes, exactly.
No, just kidding. How did this come through? Can we take a look at a closer look at?
So I actually, another thing too I didn't mention earlier, I put in this line, these 2 lines here, and these are just like reference points that I like to have for the height of typical screens. So PCs, we want to make sure that when you're designing a website that it's short enough so that a PC user doesn't see all of this like white space underneath. Especially if we're like used to being on Macs, the dimensions are a little different. So that's what this line right here is. This line is for like the height of a MacBook.
Yeah.
But up here, you lose a lot when you're on a PC. So that's just something that I like to make sure I reference when I'm going through.
Your different fold lines.
Yes.
And you could probably close that Creative Cloud Libraries panel if it's kind of in the way and kind of expand that out.
Yeah.
So there's also in here, since you're in XD, click on the home up at the top. Do you know about, let's do this. You ready for this? This is super fun.
Yeah.
Right over here, change the scrolling from none to vertical. I don't know if you were going to do that.
This is great. No.
So, and again, this is super fun for me because I get to actually show you something
Yes.
that you didn't already know.
I
So
like
I'm super
that.
excited about this. So this actually says the size of this page is this is your, wherever you want your fold line.
Yep.
You can put that at like 800. Watch what happens.
And it jumps up there.
Did you already know that?
Oh, and you know what? This is I just realized too. I actually made this as Retina just so I had a lot of room. So this is at 2x.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to make it smaller. So technically, that's gonna be a little confusing. So
No
it's really
problem.
at 1600 right there.
Okay, cool. 1600. But did you know about that?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
That's
yay.
really cool. Yeah,
Oh,
new
I
feature, right?
added value.
It's good. Anytime you see anything, I'm always here to learn too.
But I like how you still needed those 2 lines because
Yes.
you want Mac PC.
Yes. Yeah.
But that, and see if you can grab that line. Can you grab it too? Yeah, so you can
I can
grab that.
pull it
That's
up
your
there.
fold line. And
Yep.
even if you just hit the play button, this is what it does. You still
Yep,
have the
very
whole
cool.
page and you can scroll it now.
Scroll it now, and I can see what you're seeing in each thing.
Yeah.
So as you're working
that's
through,
nice.
there's no point where you don't have a couple things leaving. You have a full page. You scroll right into something right here. So
Yeah.
it's nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
Good call. I would have missed that.
Yeah.
But your whole idea is like, how does the screen look visually?
Yes.
Even as you scroll.
Yes.
Is there a screen where it's just like white and text and boring?
Yeah.
Or are you bringing it to life?
Yeah.
And by the way, if you're wondering what this little countdown is in the lower left, it's a giveaway countdown. So in about 6 minutes and 35 seconds, we're gonna go away these fancy socks. Again, it doesn't quite match your hair. It's off a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's
you have
close.
the purple,
The purple, the pink. kinda
purple pink.
works.
I think
Yeah.
it kind of
In the same
works.
family, at least.
Exactly. So that's what the giveaway is. Just to some random lucky winner, and we'll have more and more exciting prizes as the week goes along. So socks in the house.
Yeah.
And you wore these last night, and they were pretty comfortable.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
You totally did. But I bet you they are. They feel so soft, so I like them.
They could be hand puppets.
Yeah. All
anyway.
sorts of fun things, yeah.
Yeah. So what are the heights that you use for PC and Mac?
Oh, that's a good question. So I think it was 768 for PC, and then I want to say it was more closer to 800 for Mac. It was a little bit more than 800, I think. But
And I feel like that's during sort of the UX stage.
Yes.
You find out all that data on what size the screen, like
yes,
the percentages that people are, the browser sizes,
Yes.
if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah. Sweet. I like it.
cool.
All right. Hey, everybody.
Hey, someone's from Cleveland or near Cleveland.
Cleveland in the house or near Cleveland?
Yeah, for
Ohio in
yeah,
the house?
awesome. Love Ohio.
Yellowstone in the house
Yeah.
because we're building an app. Excuse me, not an app. Basically, the website
Yeah.
and mobile, by the way.
Yep.
For basically taking a trip to Yellowstone. Where to find the bears at a distance or something.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah. So.
California in the house. Murad,
Ooh.
welcome, my friend.
Very
You're in the
cool.
same time zone as us. It's 9:25 a.m. We're here in lovely, beautiful San Francisco as we look out these gorgeous floor-to-ceiling windows revealing the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Right
Yeah,
out
yeah,
there.
yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's very lovely.
I always use that joke.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, no, we've seen the studio.
Yeah, we know.
All right, and
Cool.
it looks like, yeah, you can continue.
Yeah, so another thing that's really important to do, so here I have my wireframes. I went ahead and actually pulled this from something else. I wanted to incorporate this, something else that I had worked on for national parks. So I did kind of like a mood board. So I pulled in some images that I had taken when I was in different national parks, and then looked at, different like typography levels, like what my H1s would be, H2s, and, H4s and H5s. I apparently realized I missed an H3. That doesn't exist apparently. And then looked at like body text. Oh, there it is, H3 and block quote. And then, what a possible like logo would look like, and navigation links and colors. Yeah.
Hey, can I show you something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited.
It's your thing.
Yeah.
It's your show. But I was
Let's do
going to
it.
say,
Let's do it.
do a select all. Oh, Command A.
You'll find I'm not a keyboard code. I'm gonna go up to the file at the top person.
This is that's funny because
Yeah.
I think a true designers
Yeah.
are visual and they're like click here and do that.
Yeah,
and da, da, da.
like I memorized the pattern and the
Yeah, but I
more
think
than-
the UX UI field is interesting because you
It
have
is.
different types.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be easier to learn some of the keyboard stuff. but
Yeah, I know people that come in and they're just like, I want more keyboard shortcuts in XD.
Yep.
And that's all they do is like, brrr.
Yep.
I'm
yep.
amazed.
Yeah. It's
So,
cool.
good to have you here. In
Ooh,
Chicago,
sounds
Matthews from Chicago. Good to have you
Very cool.
as well. So this is what I was
okay.
going to do.
Yes.
All I did is open up the assets panel.
Yes.
I selected everything, opened up the assets panel, because essentially what you have here is you have all the type, all the colors, and then some imagery that maybe you'll use. And this is all I'm going to show you is you can just select all and then hit this plus sign. And that adds all the
Oh,
colors
that
that you
is so
used right up
nice.
here.
Yep.
And then even for all the character styles, click.
Brilliant.
And it adds them all there as well.
Very
so,
cool.
might work for what you're working on,
Yep.
but that's all I wanted to show.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
It's all
makes-
linked. It's all
yeah,
linked
I love
too.
that.
If you just right click, like on that, edit. If you used it in 50 different places,
Oh my goodness.
you
Yeah,
could
adjust
change
right
it.
there. That's really cool.
See, I just broke it.
No, it's okay. Can't you
I just changed the color.
can't you just undo it?
I don't know. Can you try?
There's got to be an undo. Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Thank you,
Yeah.
XD.
Yeah. I was gonna say the Control Z or Command Z.
Tony likes it. Thank you, Tony, because I thought that was fantastic.
It is. It's so nice.
You're creating the style guide
Yeah.
plus. Brr.
Yep,
Like
it's right
I
there.
encourage you, like everybody, as you're working on the challenge, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
because everybody's hopefully working on the challenge, which I'll talk about in a second. But if you're working on the challenge, like you'd easily change all the 5 screens. I know there's more today. You can change all 5 screens with one click of the button.
Which is really cool. One thing too I really like, so this was in a separate file. I'm gonna actually pull this into my wireframes file. So I'm just gonna copy this artboard.
Oh, perfect.
And then I'm gonna just paste it in here. So then we have it in this file too. Everything kind of got.
Do you always create wireframes? Is that kind of traditionally you do, or
It depends on like the scope and the timeline. So sometimes if you're working on a project that has a really quick turnaround, you can't really do as much exploration. You just kind of like go into it. Or you might not do, like this is, creating a whole page. So this is, multiple pages. It's very involved. But for that example where I was working on that progressive, like the home page, that was just, I was working on that one section. So I wasn't really doing like wireframes for the
you didn't
whole
really need
page
to. Okay.
per se. So I think it just depends on like what you're working on and how it'll be. But see, this is cool. So I just was able to paste in that artboard in here, which was nice. and
Perfect.
Thought it was good.
Yeah, and I like how you can, those artboards are just like a graphic element that can be off to the side
Yes.
that you can pull from
Exactly.
any time. So that's good. We'll talk about the challenge in a second, but there is a challenge tab, 5 screens. You could use a template, but quite frankly, what is a 7, 6 countdown, 5, 4,
Ooh.
3? What giveaway? That's right, happening
one.
right now.
Awesome.
So all we need you to do is just join us in chat, say something, get those fingers working.
Yep.
Get those fingers
Ooh.
working. Be like, hey, hey, Martha, I love your hair. Hey, Martha, do you always, when you're on a live stream, do you always have your hair match the background?
I did not plan
Look at how
that.
look at how coordinated all of this is. We're so coordinated.
I really like purple.
And this is what we're giving away.
Yeah.
We want you to be coordinated with us.
Yes.
We're going to give away these fancy Adobe XD socks.
Yeah.
That, again, we went through the UX of this. Martha wore them to bed last night.
They're so comfortable.
You okay?
Yep.
She can attest to how comfortable they are. Perfect. Just kidding. Just say something in the chat. Be like, hey, I want some socks. You were sticking with the color for 2018, isn't it? Is it Royal Violet? What's the color for 2018?
I actually don't know.
It's like a
It is.
It's like a Royal Violet
purple.
or something like
Totally
that.
Is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. I did do the hair before that, I think, though.
Oh, yeah. So they got it from you.
Yeah,
That's what you're
they
saying.
did. Yeah,
I
yeah.
like
It
it.
was the trendsetter.
Congratulations, Johnny Woo's entered because he said something. Narendra said India, so that means you're entered in the contest. And we just need to make sure that somebody's at the other end of that keyboard. So,
Cool.
all right.
Awesome.
And we're drawing that name right now. The Adobe Live team is, and it looks like the winner is. Go ahead and say it for us. Go ahead.
Candace Guy.
Candace Guy. Candace Guy,
congrats.
Congratulations. You
Super
not only
exciting.
get the left one, but you also get the right one. Candace Guy, just respond to us in chat so you know you heard us, and we can get these to you. Gus will wrap it up and hop on a plane and deliver it to you, right to your doorstep. Just kidding, but we will ship it out. Congratulations, Candace Guy. Not to worry, we're going to have giveaways for each segment. And there's also the challenge that I'll talk about in a little bit. So, but yeah, I just want to watch you work. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's totally fine. Can do that. So are we just
Yeah,
gonna
just
gonna dive
continue
into
on.
it?
Let's just have some fun.
Yeah,
Let's
see how this will work. So, these are the wireframes. So all the blue blocks, I was imagining images there. Again, this can change. Like, you might, as you're working through, might change it a little bit. I think I want to pull in some of those photos from that Creative Cloud library. So
Let's
wanna do that?
I want to talk about that. Like, how did you get those there in the first place?
So went here. So I have my Creative Cloud account, and I went to Adobe Stock. And then I was going through. I was able to just put all the photos I was interested in into a library and haven't purchased them. So this is really nice if you're just kind of brainstorming like what you want to include, and then you can go through and refine and get the ones. And these are all, when you purchase them, they're licensed. So it's really, really simple.
Yeah, no, I really do like it. And again, if you are working on the challenge today, feel free to use just these, the placeholder images. Perfect, the watermark images. So that's all you did. It's like, look at that.
I know, isn't it? They're beautiful, beautiful images. So.
Oh, I love it. So all you're doing is you're just when you click to save a preview to my library.
Yep.
Of the Fox. Mm-hmm. And then now can you go into XD or Photoshop or something and see if it shows up? Oh, look at that.
There it is.
It is.
Yep. So that's the first one in there. So super nice.
Yeah. So that's how that works. It is it's basically Adobe Stock using the Creative Cloud library. You can also search, like if you were in Photoshop, because I know you did some of that in Photoshop, you can search in the library.
Oh, very cool.
You can search for like landscapes, and
nice.
you'll pull it all in that panel.
Very cool.
And then you just save a preview from there. So you don't even have to go to the browser.
Nice.
I always go to the browser like you because I want to be able to see everything nice and easy. And yes.
Yeah, good versatility though.
Emin, I have no idea where you are. We're here in San Francisco, and you are with the one and only Martha Bergmann. She's going to be tackling this Yellowstone National Park website, and we're pulling in images.
Yep.
You just do your thing.
So just pull in the image now.
I'm just gonna watch. I'm just gonna
So
I'm going to be that guy.
You're going to be that guy who's going to be watching. So I know some of the main features of Yellowstone were Old Faithful, Grand Prismatic Spring. So I think we might start with, obviously the animals and the wildlife. So I'm trying to think of like what, features we want to show. Is it the bison or, or just highlighting different animals. Other thing that's really important to know when you're, this is why it's kind of good to be working on like both responsive at the same time. Because if you have a photo in here that's like, let's pull in, this one probably would be a little tough. If you pull in this photo, this could work in desktop. It's going to get a little tight when you take it into the mobile version. See, there's not a lot of room or area to work around. So that's why it's good to be designing both at the same time. You want to find imagery, especially when it's like full width like this. It looks good in both.
Like I can't even, for the mobile version, is it a mountain?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You can't really tell that much. So, so that's just kind of an example of how that would work.
No, that's perfect. And by the way, when you did drag that in,
yes,
did you notice that? Like it gave you that little link icon?
Yeah, that's very cool.
So it's actually linked back to it.
Okay.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
Because if maybe I'm working on the big, gorgeous header hero image.
Yep.
And then, so I can always make those updates here and it'll change over there.
Which will be really nice. Yeah, so actually, one thing I wanted to do also is use a clipping mask for this. So it makes it a little bit easier as we're, resizing it. So I'm going to bring this shape from my wireframe that I made in Photoshop, have these two together, and then I'm going to have it, see here I am using the menu, mask with shape.
I'd rather you use the menu.
Yeah, it's just
shortcuts, people can't see what you're doing
you're right,
with the shortcuts.
So yeah, it works out really well then. So then I'll do this, and everything got pulled to the front, so I'll just move it to the back. And then actually I realized now, I think this is, there we go, background. So this is what this image would look like. And then since it's a mask, I can just double click and move it around and kind of play around with the size of certain things here. And then kind of do the same thing here. Pull it in a second time. I probably could have just copied it.
Oh, no, either, there's no judgment here.
There's a million different ways to do everything.
Yeah, there's no judgment.
So
I mean, that's right. You think it's a very simple app. It's meant to be simple and easy to use. We could make it more complex.
I'm so glad it's not, though.
We would lose people. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I like that it is just like simple toolbars.
And so this is interesting. So you could drag a photo into a selected box and it would fill it.
Yes.
But you'd created this clipping mask.
Yes.
Do you feel like it gives you more control?
I do. Yeah, I like it because then I can really like fine tune the sizing of things. And sometimes if I really am particular about a photo, I might even like take it back into Photoshop. And if I want this to be smaller, I might add in some more of this background here. So sometimes I can do that, nitpick it. So here are the images. We're just going to start working with that. I'm going to pull in my H1.
Yes, Clint Farmer, we are going to get into the interaction design of XD. Not to worry. And again, I hope you find it really intuitive. Like that's the goal. Yeah, Nate, you're right. So if you drop an image directly into a shape or into like say that square underneath, it will actually fill it. So regardless of what size you have that square, it will always fill it. But if it's a clipping mask, it's actually different because you can have the bison moved over a little bit and position it more exactly.
So I am noticing when we have type on top of this, it's not really working well with this image. I think, there's not enough contrast between here, so I might look for another image right now that we have. So you want your website also, when you're designing with colors, to be accessible to a certain degree. We want to make sure people with low vision are able to read everything on the page. And accessibility is, both UX and even development, there's accessibility, but we're obviously just going to focus on working to make this accessible for the visual components of it.
And since we're getting into the details and we're actually doing the design, I do want to talk about the challenge in more detail.
Oh yeah.
Because I've kind of mentioned it, but with all due respect to everyone, I'll just switch over here. You're in chat, but you can always jump over to the challenge. All right. So this is all about creating up to 5+ screens, but not to worry. I know Felicia was like, "Whoa, 5 screens!" Guess what? We give you a template. So again, with that template, I can't quite see it, but with that template, let's jump over. This is the template that you have. So everything's kind of already squared away, and you could link it together. Now, if we take a look right over here, the theme today, if you take a look, is a recipe sharing app, okay? A recipe sharing mobile app, to be specific. So any sort of recipe sharing, grab some food imagery, drop them into those 5 screens, link them together, and as it shows right below me, you have about 50 minutes to do that. So that's the challenge today. We're gonna give away XD. Don't worry, you need to just submit it through this URL right here, through this this bit.ly, and we'll give away a Creative Cloud subscription to our lucky winner. Yeah. And you're gonna help me with that. Like,
awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, you as our guest will be helping me with that. So that's the plan. Everybody knows. And by the way, can I just review the schedule like for the course of the 3 days? In fact, that's what I'll do. We can maybe do that. Okay. Okay. And then can we talk about like, so today we have a challenge. Can we do that one? Let's talk. This is really fun. So this is a new thing. We have a challenge today. So we're going to get all these daily submissions in. They have 50 minutes. And of course, it's a recipe sharing mobile app. So that's for day 1. Okay, so it changes from day to day. Day 2 is going to be creating a web experience. Details on that tomorrow. And then Thursday is portfolio reviews. So create whatever you want this week. Maybe you put it in your portfolio, but portfolio reviews are Thursday, which are really fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. That should be great.
Yeah, so details to come per day, and we have the challenges as well every segment. So if you don't get something done within the first 50 minutes, then you do have the next segment to dive into that. So yeah, I'm gonna switch back to your computer.
Perfect. So just looked at, I'm gonna pull in a different image. See if this one it works better.
Oh, it might.
Because it has a little bit more room.
That's pretty. Oh, you know what I love about that?
The fade to white.
Yes.
I know.
Designer.
Designer. Yeah, I was going to say, it's just like it's there. It works.
I love it.
Yeah, so this works a little bit better. And then I had these here for like other images. Obviously, while working with this photo, we're probably not going to need 3 images. Maybe we'll just stick with 2, and I'll make sure that this is kind of in line with what's down here. Just kind of move it over. So I had in here kind of like a tagline that we could have.
Rasim, yes, Yellowstone is a cool place. I've never been there.
Really? You should go. It's absolutely breathtaking. Do you like animals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because like the wild.
Delicious.
Yeah.
No, just joking.
I mean,
we are making a recipe
I was
app
gonna
today.
say though, like we did have bison burgers when we were in Yellowstone. So,
Okay.
I mean,
And we respect all life.
Yes.
Don't want to offend anybody who says, but you did have bison burgers.
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the app today is all about recipes.
Yeah. Yeah. So it works out, right?
So again, Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah.
Is it? So you have a tagline here? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a nice tagline for what we could use for this.
We're always open to suggestions.
Yeah,
if you had a good tagline for Yellowstone.
Yep.
Like come for the views, stay for the experience.
Yeah, I like that. Let's do that. And then we're just gonna put that here. Probably want it to be a little bit bigger. Oops.
Have you Get Wild in Yellowstone?
Ooh,
oh, and
boom!
slow clap. Oh,
I love that.
You are good.
That's really good.
Oh,
That-
Benjamin Routledge again. Go wild.
I love
We're
it.
all like on the same
So
page.
should go wild or get wild?
Tony's like, we have bison burgers. Like, I'm gonna write some of these down. I think we're gonna get a lot of good ones in.
I like it.
So.
And yeah, if anyone has suggestions for what we could call this like trip planning, national park. So I'm kind of imagining, I guess, I said earlier, this is like just for Yellowstone. We could also just have this be like the Yellowstone page of like a bigger national park planning website. So if you think of something that's, broad for like all of the national parks, I had an idea a while ago of calling it like 59 parks. I think we actually might have 60 now, though. I think they just added a new park in Missouri.
Really?
Yeah.
60?
Yeah.
I feel like it should be 60.
Yeah,
Nice
it's
round number.
more well-rounded. So, I like the wild by nature. That's actually really cool too.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rob. And I saw your picnic baskets. Your reference to Yogi Bear.
Yes, that's good. So I'm just gonna be putting in. We haven't, let's do an overview.
I'm logging all of the taglines as you come up with them.
Perfect.
I'm not sure about Break a Bone in Yellowstone.
Ooh.
Wasn't there a petition going around about changing the name from Yellowstone to YOLO or something like that?
I've not heard that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, there
No.
was some like Yellowstone.
That's really funny.
And the YOLO even works because again, it's still like it's a short
I was
for
gonna
Yellowstone.
Say, like,
and-
YOLO.
But I feel like
like
that's
it.
also that was a dated phrase. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Oh, it is.
that was like everybody used to say, "Oh yeah, YOLO."
YOLO. I haven't heard that in a while.
I know.
Yeah, so kind of going through.
Spot the Yeti. Come.
Welcome to
come
Vulcan.
to what?
Welcome in a Vulcan.
I don't know what that
I don't know,
means.
is there a Star Trek reference?
Oh, Yellowstone.
Oh,
there
I
you go.
like that,
Karen
Yellowstone.
LePage.
So now I'm just going through, referencing my sitemap, working on the navigation, thinking it might make sense to have an overview page, an activities page, a lodging page, and probably, we did talk a little bit about seasons, so it might make sense to kind of talk about what it would be like visiting in different seasons. So that's what we'll be working with here. Yeah, and then whenever we figure out the name, that'll go up here.
Mark has an interesting question, like, how do you maintain the right proportions? Because you're working on, like, how big the artboard is compared to the size of the text, for instance.
Yep.
Because he says the text sometimes ends up looking too large. And you're actually working at a larger size,
I am.
too.
I was working at 2x, which, to be honest, I did wireframing in that, and now I'm regretting that decision. And I'm going to actually make it smaller. I'm going to reduce the size from 2x to 1x. So then we will have more like accurate font sizes and things.
Oh yeah, because right now if you're at 200%, like you would double.
Yes, which is going to be hard for developers too. So they won't need that necessarily.
That's a very good point.
So we're actually gonna scale it down. So I believe I'm trying to figure out the best way to
And you
do
don't,
this.
I mean, since you're kind of designing, I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Yeah.
It's totally up to you.
Yeah.
It's totally up to you if you want to go through that process.
It should be pretty. I mean, I'm going to 1440, so just gonna make everything. Oh, it's so close.
Type scale. Is that, I think I know type scale. I was just thinking about that.
Ooh.
Type scale.
Check font sizes. I like that. I have not heard of that.
Yeah, so it's like a visual calculator so thank you so much. I think that's a great tip, Anne, so thank you.
I like that.
I'm just kind of switching over just
Yeah.
so you can see it. There we are. So again, this is type-scale.com. You can drop in. This is good to determine like your sort of H1, H2, H3 refs, all of that. Your base size, if I change this to 18, we can see how everything changes in relation to one another. So good reference, and I'm loving it. Thank you, Dylan, for the tagline there.
I like that. So is that wild and so? One thing I really do like too is the alignment tool. So if you want everything to be centered, you can just go up here
that's a good point.
and aligns it. And it's really nice when you're working on something that's centered, or even if you want it to be like left aligned too. So
I think Jose Gonzalez, that brings up a good point. Since you're already using Yellowstone in the headline, you don't necessarily need to go wild in Yellowstone. You could just do
Correct.
go wild.
ooh, yeah, I like that.
By the way, if you are working at 2 times the size, when you go to output it, you basically can define, hey, I worked at 2 times the size,
Oh.
therefore output it appropriately.
That's nice.
So,
Very cool. Yeah,
Go
so
wild.
this is probably.
I might license that image for you, just for fun.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'm sort of just working on.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, at least at Progressive? Do you, and Tony is asking this, do you start with the full web view and then work on the mobile experience, the mobile size?
So we will usually. I think it depends. We don't always have responsive. We usually focus more on adaptive. So we have different experiences for mobile, because the users are a little different.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of look at them separately rather than like one cohesive experience.
Okay.
So it's something we kind of do, especially with the homepage. Like I think our mobile homepage is pretty different. Feels like it's part of the same family, but from the desktop. So yeah, we usually we'll start on desktop sometimes if the majority of our I think we have a good amount of people coming on mobile and desktop. So
Yeah, and that's kind of goes back to the sort of the user research.
Yes.
Like where are people viewing it more on mobile versus desktop?
exactly, and depending
Because
on
again,
what
you're talking
pages.
about, especially if you're, at Progressive, you're shopping for, like, say auto insurance.
Yes.
Like I might do that on my phone. That seems much more like a desktop working thing.
It does.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
And then also I think and people are typically, mobile first. Like I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I think with the full web experience, you have all the data.
Yes.
And then you determine what's important to have on the mobile.
Exactly.
Is that kinda-
Yeah, that's usually how I know that it is definitely controversial. It's like which mobile first. I think the biggest thing is you got to make sure that when you are going to mobile, you're not sacrificing the experience for the mobile user, because that's not really fair. Some people only have mobile phones to be able to access the internet, and we don't want to give people who only have that a really limited view of a website.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I think it's honestly like one of those things that we talk about at conferences is mobile first.
Yes.
Like at the end is the client wants it to be right. They're going to want both. Like
Yes.
I just think about like the end user is the ultimate client, but as long as everybody's happy.
Exactly.
Tony says it's easier to add elements than to take away. Cool.
It is. That's
It's
true.
very
That's
much
why
like-
the refining process is really nice too. Like as you look back on it later, you can take things out, and I think it's important too. Something we'll hopefully do tomorrow is look at what we did today and make refinements, because you
Yeah.
always see things differently when you take a break and you stop looking at it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that helps.
Yeah, I agree.
So I just went ahead and I added like a gradient overlay that's white so that we could really add some more contrast for these navigation links. So that's one
That
thing.
looks
I went-
so good.
Yes.
Like when you did the black gradient, not a fan.
Oh yeah, no, that was me just seeing it. I should have
Okay.
explained that. Yeah, I
I was like,
Oh, no.
What are you doing?
no, it's good. I actually did the black because there was more contrast, so I could really
Yeah.
see like where I wanted it to fade. But yeah, the white was where I was going.
Jimmy
It's a
Mitchell
little
agrees.
Yes.
Says it's pretty.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Always open to new. I love Go Wild. That's
I think
fun.
that's fun.
Oh, we gotta. Oh, so much fun.
Yeah, so it should be cool. And I'm moving it down a little bit so that we could. pops out a little bit. Again, I'm talking about the off season. Here it is in winter, which is winter's a whole experience too. Just not all the roads are open, and it's fun. So probably want to pull in some more.
I did see a question earlier just said about going from XD to PSD, which that's currently not, that's not a capability. And then you also have to, I'd want to know why they'd want to do that.
Yeah.
So,
Be kind of curious to see that.
look at that gorgeous little fox.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's gonna look really
What
nice
a-
right here too.
what a fox.
This is gonna be a very like wintry theme. Just gonna mask this as well.
Oh, that's good. So Gabriel's kind of wondering what the color palette will look like. Is it going to be these shades of blue or?
Yeah, I don't know. I
This
originally
is-
was thinking kind of the green.
Yeah.
but-
Well, this is so interesting.
yeah,
This is interesting.
Yeah.
I have something interesting to say.
Yeah.
Is like you're not. The big thing is like you don't want to. The color might change or emerge
Yes.
based on these photos.
oh yeah,
Right. So you
Yes.
just like you don't want to just pick a color to pick a color.
no,
That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
Like do everything for a reason. Same
Yep.
thing with fonts. We don't
Yes.
we don't add color to decorate a page. We do it with a purpose.
exactly. And like I might go through further and refine this later. Like these are just black. Like I just kind of add through things, and as we look at it, as it grows, we'll kind of figure it out.
Does that fox know that Bison's heading his way?
Yeah.
What's he gonna do?
I don't know.
Get out of the way!
Exactly. It'll scurry away.
So yeah, Gabriel, again, just like, you want to use color for a reason. I think if you added a splash of red in here, you would do it to call attention to that item, right?
Yes, for hierarchy.
Yeah, for hierarchy purposes.
Definitely.
So yeah. Junior's asking about hover options for Adobe XD, which there currently aren't any, but I do want to point out how you can basically, and again, just time check, about 30 minutes to get your fun recipe. Actually, by the way, I do want to say,
Yes.
so the first challenge in this morning, by the way, this is the hardest time. Like, people don't have a lot of time to make something.
It's true.
Like, we have the least amount of entries in
Yep.
this first,
Yeah.
this first segment. So your odds of winning are much better this morning.
It is.
If you can throw something together.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. That's great.
But I did want to show, just in terms of providing feedback, XD, go to help, and sure enough, there's provide feedback. That will link out to user voice, and we can go into, say, feature requests. And this is what I love, by the way. Like, I really like how transparent we are. Joan Lafferty. Joan is right upstairs.
Oh, cool.
Nicest person in the world. It's like, she's so nice. But she's like, hey, this feature started. I got my team working on it. And this is for fixed elements in scrolling artboard. So that's what people are going to ask
Oh, yep.
as well. So anyways,
Nice.
just a little shout out. Nikki, welcome, my friends. Good to have you here. Good to have everyone here. If you are new, just do a little shout out. Just use those fingers. Be like, hey, what's up? Let us know where you're from. So we need to know if we need to say good morning or good afternoon or good evening, or what are you doing up so late? And thank you for being up so late.
Yes. Cool.
Looks beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So I'm just working with the Title 59 parks, but if anyone has another suggestion, we can throw that in there. I like the Go Wild, so
I love Go Wild.
open to that. So then, we have this gallery. I'm thinking it would be kind of nice if you could like cycle through the photos.
Yeah.
So having some sort of like gallery navigation. Kind of what I left here. These were just like elements on here. No, go for it.
No, I just want to say hello to Thiago from Sao Paulo, Chris from NYC, so 4 hours ahead of us.
Yep.
Tony, do you like 59? Oh, that's a good way to spell it, too. I'm
Ooh.
into that.
Yeah.
50 and then the numeral 9.
Yeah.
New Haven, Connecticut here. Welcome. Vienna. Fantastic.
Oh,
So this is
wow.
really good.
That is very cool.
So feel free, if you are new to joining us today, you can always select that challenge tab. This is when I said challenge, that's what I mean. It's right back here. And again, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's
But
fine.
just since we have new people, this is
Yeah,
what I
let's
mean when
show
I say
them.
challenge. Just click on that challenge tab, and we're allowing you to prototype something for the first time. And all we're saying is just try it. Just like people are like worried about not making something good, and we just say, hey, just like do it, because
Yeah.
we're gonna screw up many times.
Oh
this
yeah,
week.
you're gonna.
We plan on it.
Oh yeah, I mean, you saw the black gradient I did initially.
I was
Like
like,
things
well, I
happen,
was like,
you know.
girl,
You just have to like
girl.
work through it. And we always, you know, I've worked with another, you know, sometimes I always think back to college when I was working with another designer on a project, and we always joked that it was like backseat designing. So it's like when you're watching someone else work, you kind of like see the bad before they see it. And we
Yeah.
always joked that was like, you know, the backseat designing that we did.
Backseat designer.
Yeah. Yep.
Everybody, and it kind of actually sounds like a negative term,
Yeah.
but it's really good.
It is.
Because
It is.
everybody here in chat, you know, welcome Tony and Paul from UK City of Culture. So from Hull, but essentially they have a chance to look at this with like fresh eyes as they
Yes.
enter, so they can say, "Oh, that looks kind of weird," or the hierarchy.
Yes.
Is it because you don't have you're working on it, you don't have a chance to step back. So
No.
everybody else kind of serves as our art directors.
Which is awesome. So I'm really happy about that.
But I think the photo's looking great.
Yeah, yeah. So working on, and this is the thing too. Like, don't be afraid to kind of deviate. You know, I think we're talking about deviating from your original idea. I mean, my artboard, all this imagery is totally different than this imagery that I'm working with here. Just because I found like different photos and decided to focus more on winter and the off season. So it's okay if it changes, you know, so maybe like this green might not fit with this kind of icy color, but maybe this violet will still kind of work, and we can pull those colors in.
Yeah.
So now this is kind of like the first like feature piece. So we have overview, activities, lodging, and seasons. So trying to think, you know, what we might want to put here that makes the most sense.
And then you're referencing.
Yeah, I'm looking over here at my notes, trying to remember exactly what I have. So it might make sense. I know one of the, you know, the workflows, the pages we're going to go through are like the activities page. And from the activities page, we're going to, you know, look at the more specific page, which is the wildlife viewing one. So then we can kind of pull in the images and talk about all the animals at Yellowstone. That's like one of the that's the best part at Yellowstone. And then we'll look at more of like, what does a specific like page look like for a grizzly bear? So that's kind
love
of
it.
what we'll be looking at there.
And I think it's good to always remember, like, you're always approaching this from a business like perspective, like the company.
Yes.
But like you kind of need to think about this like you're trying to motivate people to go to Yellowstone.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's like, what's going to be interesting for them to be like, yes, I want to see that. And this is what this is doing.
Yep.
I want to see bison.
Exactly.
Looks like a small hill moving in the.
Yes.
And I want to go see that cute little fox. And
Exactly.
everything, so.
Yeah, so it's really good. And then, yeah, I will try not to be refining right now. Here I am wanting to make edits to that already. But, so yeah, let's see. Why don't we reference over here? So making sure I like what I have. So I'm going to pull in this, make it left aligned. Kind of figure out, let's make this the, you know, we have a lot of like animals up here, which is where we're starting, but let's focus on the one of the features. So we're gonna do the grand prismatic spring. So this is,
What does that mean?
that is actually, if you've heard of it, you probably have seen this photo. So Yellowstone has a lot of really nice geothermal features. So that's what this is.
Oh.
This is what's called the grand prismatic spring.
That's beautiful.
And it is. It's just all, you know, it's actually bacteria. That's what all the color is. Bacteria that's on this like crust.
Wow.
So that's like one of the, it smells horrible.
I never knew that bacteria could be so pretty.
I know, right? But yeah, it smells horrible. It smells like rotten eggs, but it is beautiful to look at, which makes it worth it.
So to ask, making masks, you're making a mask right now. Boom.
I am. Yep.
Object, mask with shape.
Yep.
Done. So,
And then to like get in here, you just double click, and then you can adjust like the mask here, or you can click on the image and drag that out, which I love working with masks. I think that just works really well.
Yeah, that's a good point. Martin says it looks. Oh wait, no, wait. Who says that? Alex says it looks like a big oil spill.
It does.
To some degree, yeah, it does.
It does to a point.
But it's so otherworldly.
It
and
is.
like it has me really intrigued.
Yeah, it was
So-
absolutely beautiful. And then again, this is something else where it might be nice to have a tip, because when we went to go look at it, it was too early in the morning, so there were a lot of fog and clouds around it, so we weren't really able to see all of it in its full glory. So.
Oh, good point. So Rasim says, yeah, that might be a good place. Does the color palette emerge from that photo? Potentially.
Ooh, yeah, it could.
So Jane, and if you are new joining us, this is Adobe XD, allows you to design, which is what we're doing right now, and prototype. So we could start linking all these screens together, super easy. By the way, this initially started in Photoshop. So we actually just did File, Open, all the layers come into tact, and then we could add to it, link screens together. We're giving you an opportunity to do that with the Challenge tab, and just encouraging you to do it and win Creative Cloud.
Yeah.
Is the idea. So Jane says, awesome. Oh, greetings from Peru, Alejandro. Good to have you here, my friend. Yeah.
I'm just writing some,
59.
some copy on this. Yeah, so just looking at, just putting in some copy. This is something too, like depending on the scope of your project, like at Progressive, we have a copywriter that I work with. So depending on like your situation, maybe if you're freelancing, you might work with your client and maybe you'll be, collaborating. I think when you're designing, it's good to like put in placeholder text and to really think about it. Don't use like lorem ipsum. Just try to write what you're thinking like as you're going through, and then have like the copywriter refine it from there. This is important because like the copy can really inform the layout as you're moving forward. So I think it's important to do that.
Is that, I noticed that there's this gray right here.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was thinking kind of more like layering and overlapping. So this is more, I put in gray because I wasn't quite sure, but I wanted
I personally even like gray or
Yes.
like a light blue.
That's
like,
what I was going to say. A soft blue would be really nice.
Yes.
So,
that would be really good. And what that does from a design standpoint, don't you feel like it kind of grounds everything?
it does. It does. It gives it some, some depth and really softens it, I think. Might want to make it a little bit lighter. That's the other thing. I know like when we're using Macs, we don't want to always consider PCs, but a lot of people use PCs. They're very, very widely used. So you have to be careful, I think, when you're using a Mac. If this is too soft of a difference, I mean, it's always going to look different on different monitors. Like I can see the monitor up there. It's more apparent than it is on my screen. So that's something just with digital. It's never going to look the same on everything. So just to be flexible and aware of that, I think is good.
Yeah, and you have a good start here. A lot of this will change, like as you start to drop in more content.
Yes.
How this stuff will shift. So I like that you have the total freedom to change your mind at any time.
Exactly. You're never
But I love
locked
the
in.
layering effect because
Yeah.
I know what I need to focus on and everything, and that's really cool. So, and who just walked in? Talon Wadsworth. He's going to be up next.
What's up, Aldrin?
Is that right?
All right, yes.
Oh, good, fantastic. So again, good to see you. We'll see you shortly. Awesome. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
But
it's all good.
essentially, in an hour, we have Christine Lee with Talon Wadsworth. Talon's from the XD team, so any feature requests, I'm just like, Talon. That's where you say, hey, Talon, you going to work on this? All right.
Cool. So I think we'll probably pull in. Oh, so here's another photo if we're curious too. Maybe we can decide what photo we like more. So I'm actually gonna pull in this one.
Are we voting?
Yeah. Do we want to vote?
Yeah, I think if you put them like one next to the other, we can.
I'm gonna do that. See what one. Oh goodness. So
I
I'm
know,
trying.
I know, I have
I'm
an
trying to
opinion.
grab the mask so that they're similar.
What is S? Oh, S. Lipsum, as you mentioned, Frederick. Samuel L. Ipsum. That topic came up when you mentioned it.
That's really funny.
I use hipster Ipsum.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
So it's just a bunch of hipster words like kombucha, like
I
whatever.
love it.
pour over, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
Feature request, master pages. Yeah, I could see that.
Ooh, so I think I already know.
We do
what-
have
oops.
symbols, like symbols in your asset panel, kind of, again, you're thinking of like, change it in one place, it'll change everywhere.
Yeah. Just super nice.
Aaron Fields agrees with me, Hipster Ipsum is fun.
I think I'm already kind of leaning towards the one on the right still.
I personally am too.
Because there's too many people, right?
It's not as pretty.
Clutter, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's decent, but it doesn't have the same sort of. I always love photos too that are like kind of grounded. I think when I take photos, I always try to like get the foreground in there, just so it makes it feel like you're at the location. So I'm sorry, I think we already made our decision.
Well, you are the designer.
Yes. So we're gonna stick with that one. But see, it's always good to like kind of challenge your decisions and make sure you like what you have. So this is the, I was thinking it would be really cool to have like a full page gallery here. We talked about, like we have a couple of the animals here. We have like a feature of Yellowstone. I think it would be nice to have this be one of the features that pulls us into the grizzly bears. So I found this really, really adorable photo of a grizzly bear that I just think is so, so sweet. So we're gonna go ahead and just bring him in, make him fill up the whole space.
I like this. I kind of like having this like warmer image too.
Yeah. Yeah. And we can see. So this is a sad thing. I think he might not fit because the way that I wanted this gallery, it's really wide. I don't know if it's the scale is right. I don't know. What does everyone think? It feels like he's too big in this space compared to all these other photos.
Yeah, it's true.
So
he's better in a smaller.
He is.
That might even be good. I mean, we all have an opinion.
Yeah.
But in this,
that's what I'm thinking. Like,
because it kind of adds a little more variety, and it actually sets it off since it's a different color palette.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So then, because we're bringing in this kind of warmer color down here.
Peter Del Tondo, hello, my friend. Peter Del Tondo's a super nice guy. Like he does UX and UI. He was a guest of ours, and he agrees with us.
Oh, very cool.
He agrees with you.
Yay!
A huge. Thank you for the vote of confidence, my friend.
Yes, I like that. And see, too, it's like, again, with colors, bringing in this kind of like orange brown.
Oh, that looks so good.
So this feels better. I like this a lot more.
It does.
So just always trying new things. So let's see. If we want to bring in... Ooh, this will be nice, I think. I think this one will be good. Because this one's a little bit softer.
All right, and Christine just walked in. Christine Lee, she's our next guest. Good to have you here. Yeah, yay. So she'll be joining us in about 45 minutes.
Very
so that's
cool.
much. And by the way, time check right down below me, 17 minutes, and we will review our challenge entries.
Sounds good.
17 minutes.
So here's the grizzly. I'm just gonna pull in. I really like to copy and paste a lot. It's so simple. If you already have your styles, just keeps things uniform and consistent. See, I'm like moving away from my my wireframe too. I'm just things
There are no rules.
No, it's
Let's just have some fun.
Yeah, it's like it's just gotta be flexible.
Valter, welcome. And again, if you are just joining us, appreciate a hello. Valter, where are you from? Always curious. Interesting name. And too much bear? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. If it's bear season, I don't know. And that's a good point. As somebody also mentioned, is like, obviously the images will change potentially per season. They're going to get refreshed.
Yes.
And then that means the colors might shift a little bit from spring to, winter and everything.
And maybe there even are like spring, winter, palettes, or maybe the colors are super neutral so that they fit with all of them, or maybe it's just neutral with one pop of color that changes for the season.
Yeah. So Aaron says, sees about 218 viewers online. Who's telling others? Don't tell anybody about this. What are you doing? Where are all these people coming from? This is our little secret little thing. So, actually share it with all your friends, because this is like free knowledge, and we're here to answer questions. Again, this is Adobe XD. Originally came from a PSD file. We're going to design these screens. Happens to be a website. We're going to have the mobile experience. And then also, we're going to link those screens together. And if you're a Creative Cloud member, you have access to Adobe XD. Looks like who's chilling in Maine? How's the weather in Maine? Is it like this? We have that snowy scene. Is it like that in Maine?
Exactly.
Maybe it's not like that in Chandler, Arizona. I would think it'd be pretty nice there, Jorge. So.
Cool. So I want this to be a gallery, so I'm just going to make our navigation.
Do you have, as a designer, do you have like little like tips and tricks for design? Because I'm noticing like this little kind of tab overlapping the picture is really nice.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
You know,
yeah.
is that kind of like a thing? You're like, hey, I know this works if I'm going to add.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is referencing like what's out there. So like, looking through like examples, looking on Behance and just seeing like what other designers are doing, like what, you know, you don't want to be too trendy, you want to be current. So you want it to, just, you know, be clear and concise. And I think, you know, this overlapping, I see a lot.
I do like it. Can I show you something?
Yes,
real fast?
go
And
for
you
it.
probably already know this.
Yeah.
But select that white box behind the text.
Yes.
And then you can maybe close the Creative Cloud Library panel just because we want to go over there and select background blur in the properties panel.
Ooh, I actually, this is newer, isn't it? I love it.
Look at this.
It is. I love that.
Come on.
Yes.
Does
and you
everybody
can
see that?
And you can change it.
Yeah, you can make it
love
lighter
this.
or darker
Yep.
too. That's what that does. So if it's
Ooh.
if it needs to be brighter to make that text stand out.
I do really like that. Because again, you want it to be legible.
Yeah.
You know, I think as designers, we always love our little tiny type, but
We do.
we got to make sure it's still readable.
Yeah.
This is really nice. I
don't know
love
if-
this.
I don't know if it'll work or not, but it's an
I love
option.
that.
So do you like that as well? Looks like I did see somebody said that really works well, Jose
Yeah,
says.
I think it looks nice.
Okay, Frederick likes the blur effect.
Yeah.
And we can always change it later, but that's
Yeah, I
that's
love
fun.
that. Is that new? I don't,
No,
relatively new or just
No, it's just one of those things that you don't know it exists.
Yeah.
So this is the thing about Photoshop. I'm blurring an image. What you're doing is you're having a box blur out anything behind it.
That's so
So in my
nice.
opinion, like it's much more flexible.
It is. One thing I do love about XD is it just has the essentials. It has everything that you need. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't have all this clutter.
Oh, and I got it. Oh, that's so many things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just working on these arrows.
There is so much to talk about, by the way, like with XD and with working together and with making icons like you're doing. I love that you're doing this just from scratch, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And
It's so easy to
This
do.
looks really good.
Thank you.
Ooh, guess what? Some more socks arrived. Special delivery.
Ooh.
A new logo on it. Ooh. So again, prizes just keep rolling through this door. Essentially, we have giveaways for 3 days. Oh yeah. Look. Sweet. Ooh, update.
Ooh. Yeah, forget about the old one.
This is actually the new.
Oh yeah.
the new logo.
It is. The one that's, you know, right here.
Yes. So it's
the
where
rounded
it's
edge.
wide. Actually, I feel like this has a little more pop to it.
It does. I like that.
These are the Adobe XD socks. We actually gave them to one lucky winner earlier today, about 45 minutes ago. So again, giveaways. We have these stencils. We have notebooks. All sorts of things that we just kind of throw your way, and in just a way to say thank you for joining us. So yeah. I'm helping on my computer.
Are. Yes. So 1 point. Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, Mark.
There it is.
Yes, the answer is they use XD to make XD. It sounds so meta.
It is. That's
so
awesome.
meta.
I love that though.
And by the way, so Talon Wadsworth is a senior designer on the XD team. He does this sort of thing, and he's going to be joining us in 40 minutes.
Ooh.
And he can attest to that. So, Marcella will give away XD stickers tomorrow, just because we can. I'm gonna work on that image of the bear.
Oh yeah.
Because don't you think it needs to kind of needs a little love?
It needs a little bit of love, I think. Yeah.
All right, you got it.
I think that'll be good. Yeah, because this one kind of
So
fades in and whatnot.
yeah. So just to kind of, we're just kind of talking. Sorry to leave everybody out, but you've shared this library with me, Creative Cloud Libraries, on the right side.
Yes.
So that's also what I have, is the same library panel.
Yep.
Again, it has these two people. There we are, me and Martha, just hanging out, have this library, and then I'm going to make edits to this. It's going to update in XD. So that's what's
So it should be cool. Yep, so we're going to, pull in that one. And let's see, the other thing I wanted to talk about or show in here is the activity. So one that was really cool is hiking. I think this is one of the best things you can do when you're out and about. I mean, Yellowstone has really nice roads that you can go around, but it's different when you're like out in the nature. Of course, carrying bear spray for these gigantic bears that are around, even though we didn't see them.
Bear spray.
But yes, bear
Something
spray.
like bear cologne.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I don't.
It was kind of surreal to be needing to carry bear spray. Or a couple things, a couple trails were closed too.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
that's a
thinking
good.
of that. It actually fades into that. So I'm gonna pull this in here.
Oh, Evgeny? Yeah, the box blur is like blurring the div, not the background. So thank you for mentioning that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And if anyone has any other suggestions for copy or
What would that bear
headlines.
spray? What would that bear spray? What's a good name for
Yeah, I don't know.
Sauvage
Yeah.
bear spray for men?
I love
for
that.
bears.
I like that.
So, well, Sauvage is actually a clone by Dior, but it
really
also
funny.
works for bear spray.
Yep.
Sauvage.
Just so potent.
Wild with a Y. Wild.
Ooh. Yeah, some things.
Hey, bear. What's up, bear? Again, you have about 8 minutes to get your entry in. Just check out the challenge tab. And
Awesome. So yeah, I think we got, basic content in here. I haven't really refined colors or anything quite yet. So I think I had a little section here. So each of these are like very image dominant. So I thought it'd be nice to show what it might look like to have a section that is more copy heavy, just to add some variety, working on our the rhythm of the page. So I'm just
I like it.
that. I don't know exactly what should we be highlighting in here.
So there you go. Cool. Wildly savage. Bear spray. Sauvage. I just love that whole idea.
It's really funny. Yeah, one thing I like to do too is like, I know you can actually. I'm still learning how to do this. See, this is the old-fashioned way. It's just I would select all the different sections with this, and then I could, edit the font size. But technically, I could go through here and.
You could, and provided I'm sorry I messed up that assets panel because that's from earlier.
No, you didn't mess it up.
So,
It's all good. How'd you mess it up?
Well, I added all those texts and fonts from the wireframe.
No, it's good.
So.
I think that works out though. So yeah, we can talk about activities. So I'm going to be referencing once again my nifty. Actually, would you mind handing me that? Ooh, that looks really nice. I like that.
I'm kind of working on it. I feel like that image is kind of washed out.
I agree.
So
I liked that you brightened it up a little bit.
You're the art director.
No, it was good. So for activities, there's hiking and biking. So I mean, man, if you're biking through Yellowstone, that's incredible because that's just filled with mountains. At least from Ohio, I'm not totally used to mountains. I think out here there are definitely enough mountains and hills in San Francisco. So had a lot of fun driving up and down those hills.
We could always talk about the coding part, but yeah, we are definitely just like working on the design right now.
And I do think, speaking of coding, there's always a debate of like, should designers code? And I think, maybe designers don't necessarily have to code, but there is something to knowing a little bit about code to know what's capable. And I think like that helps you to make really informed decisions when you are designing. You don't want to be like, talking to a developer and they have no idea. Like, they'd be like, this is impossible, or this takes so much time. I think that helps too when you're working on a project and you don't know like, exactly, the time frame. You might not be able to do everything you want. So.
Yeah, so William uses Zeppelin in terms of coding. So just so you know, we have plugins that are built into XD. So basically you can export for Zeppelin. You can see it right here. So if you are using the Zeppelin platform, Avocode, and there's like 3 others. But this is a good sign. So this means, hey, you know what? Could we open this up to other platforms for you to, we want you to work the way you want to work. And so that's there in there. Okay, so I made a new image for you.
Oh, awesome. So do I just have to update it, or?
No, just like I made a new one. So
okay. You can drag
if you can drag it back in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be nice.
I'm really excited.
Okay, so yeah, you can just kind of, I guess, get rid of that and go to your library panel.
Okay, library panel. Oh. Is it syncing?
Yeah, it's syncing now. It's actually pretty large. I apologize.
That's okay.
Let me make it smaller.
Whoa.
Ouch. 72.
Yeah. That's okay.
It's just like you had one job, Paul. Get it right. Sagar, thank you. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. We got our timers red now. 3 minutes to get your submissions in for the challenge. In the challenge tab, you're probably in the chat tab. There's a challenge tab right up at the top. Recipes for bison burgers, or who knows what. Right?
They are really good.
Yeah.
Oh, and see, I don't want to have this being, it bothers me. So I have to figure out how to. And sometimes in web, when you have just like one line, one word at the bottom that's by itself, I know it's hard. Like
your widow.
Your widow, yeah. I'm like, I don't always like to have that, but sometimes with web, you unfortunately have to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's not like print where you're like stuck in a certain thing, but
yeah,
I can
and
look at that all.
you can adjust the, any sort of, spacing or kerning to deal with it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jose.
yeah.
Jose's learning to code, so that's cool.
Oh, that is cool. So how am I not getting it yet?
Well, it's. I had to update it again, so
Okay,
it might
gotcha.
take a second. You might need to. I don't know if you need to close the panel and reopen it.
Maybe I'll do that. But it's gonna look awesome. I'm very excited to see it. Oh, there it is.
And it might even update again. But the great thing is that see, as you drag it in there,
Brilliant.
it's linked.
Ooh,
So
that
this is the
looks
update.
really nice.
But it's
I
going to
love
get
that.
even better, by the way.
Yeah.
Because this is, I kind of increased the contrast,
Yeah.
but it actually should update.
Okay.
We just have to probably give it a second.
Give it a second to do
So.
that, so we can work on the
Yeah.
what I would call the calls to action that we want to have at the bottom of these. I didn't really do that on most of these. So we want to make sure that we give opportunities to. I don't always want to use the word learn more, so that's just going to be a placeholder for now. Discover. Trace.
A minute left.
Ooh.
And your odds are looking really good. There's not a ton of entries. You'll see those in a second. But thank you, Eric. Inez, thank you, Kholoud, and Michael Iverson. So some people have won previously. We'll still show yours, but I guess we'll kind of see where that falls. But get your entries in. You have a minute. Ooh,
Getting close.
Artemis just submitted. Just got your entry.
So I'm making the action items so that you know, like when you're looking through this, where you're gonna go, and I'm just gonna pull these in there for now.
Ooh, Johnny Woo, plan your adventure. I like that phrase.
Ooh.
I like that.
Actually
like
like that a
overall,
lot.
that's
Yeah.
like so good.
Yeah, plan your adventure. I'm gonna, I think that goes here.
Okay, Sisse brings up a good question. So like Adobe XD doesn't make Muse irrelevant. Like how does WordPress fit into everything? There's like a lot of questions that we can talk about. So Adobe XD allows you to design and prototype. So it's gonna answer all your questions, all upper management's questions, like the client, everybody's on the same page because you built out this prototype. So then when the developer gets it, super excited because guess what? They're probably, it's gonna minimize the changes, essentially, creating these prototypes. So it doesn't create websites, it creates prototypes. It doesn't create apps, creates prototypes and gives the developer what they need. So Adobe Muse would allow you to create websites without writing code. So Stone Cold Adventure.
I like that one too.
Stone Cold Adventure. That's like...
Ooh. Are we at the deadline?
We are.
Ooh. So we're ready?
Well, I mean, just give me a second to load up everything.
Oh, good. That makes sense. That's exciting.
Ooh, man, everybody did a fantastic job. Thank you so much.
Awesome. I'm excited to see
It does
those.
say 0000, and essentially that. Don't worry, Rachel, if you ran out of time, we're doing this every segment. So for our next guest with Christine Lee and Talon, they will be reviewing yours if you get yours in then. So nonetheless, thank you, Dean, Sherry, Rachel, Chandra. Good to see entries coming in at the last minute. So just bear with me as I load these up. Wink, wink. Did you get my joke?
I did. That's good.
It was kind of bad. You don't have to laugh at my jokes.
I will, though.
Bear with me. I'd be lying if I told you I was ready. I'll stop. I'm sorry.
There are no
It's
lines,
right
though.
there.
I don't know if that one was.
Somebody mentioned lion.
Oh, they did? Oh. That's funny.
I don't know.
It's good.
So is it fair to say, so you went there on your honeymoon?
Yes.
So you didn't antelope? No, that's bad. That's the worst. I mean elope.
Yeah. No,
Okay, I'll stop.
Antelope.
I'm glad
That's
you
funny.
laughed.
I did.
You're a good
I
audience.
will say, though, I like the bad puns, the ones where you just respond with boo.
I call them dad jokes.
Yeah, that's good.
All my
That's
dad
good.
jokes.
Dad jokes.
I'm not a
love it.
dad, but I would kill it with the jokes. Kill it with the dad jokes. Are you very hungry? Bear with Paul. Exactly right. Oh, there's mountain lions. Good call.
Oh, yep.
Lindsay Jones winning the...
I can't bear these puns. That's really good.
Oh, dear. Oh, Robzilla. Oh, Rick says she didn't elope, she anti-eloped.
Oh, I like that.
Took it to the next level.
I love it.
Oh, thank you, Frederick. If the site's down, the 404 page, bear with us.
Oh,
404,
that's
bear
great.
with us, and then there's a bear.
You know what?
Adorable.
I love that. So this other thing, I'm
Frederick.
gonna make a note. I'm gonna make a note. I like to do this in here. 404 page. I really love that.
Amusing. You guys are killing me.
That would be really
So
cute.
funny.
You good?
Oh, Omar, good question. Why don't we make these with Photoshop? Why don't we? Or did we?
Why didn't we? Because
Well-
it's so much simpler with XD, and the prototyping is incorporated. This has everything that you need.
And to be honest with you, if you are super fast with Photoshop, you can still use Photoshop.
can.
Do all your design in Photoshop.
Yep.
Guess what? File open in XD, and then you can do your prototyping, wire it
Yep.
up, wire it together.
Which is awesome. Love that new feature.
So,
I haven't gotten the update for the bear.
yeah, everybody is super clever, so thank you for this.
It's really good.
It is super fast, by the way. Like, I have a file, it has 1,500 artboards in one file,
Whoa.
and I can zip around that thing like
That's
nobody's
incredible.
business.
I love that.
Because the team will tell you they treat performance as a feature, not as a thing that you have to work on. It's one of the primary features,
Which is really
and honestly,
nice.
even file size. Like file size for these are like pretty pretty small. So whatever
Yeah.
they're doing, whatever they're on, I want some of that.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, so William, they're, vector-based.
Yep.
Of course, raster in there. So, oh, that's good. Peter, good to hear, man. I'm sure you're talking to the XD team. Peter Del Tondo's a guest that we've had, and he's been porting sketch files over to XD.
Ooh.
Because you can open sketch files.
Nice.
And it brings in all those symbols as you'd expect.
Yep. That's really nice.
So Rick just is, the 1500 artboards is just the fancy show-off file to impress people. Look at how
Yes.
many artboards. I would never
Exactly.
I don't think I'd ever make
It
a.
would be really hard to navigate around that.
Yeah, you would think, but it's super fast.
Yeah.
So if you're working on that, I can always kind of highlight some of these projects.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. Well, let's dive into this. So again, this is the challenge for the day. Just so you know, you're going to create a recipe sharing app, and this recipe sharing app, again, has to have 5 screens. Here's one, quite frankly, Hamburger Helper. It would help if you do your publish, by the way, and let me just kind of take a step back, just so everybody knows. In XD, let's get rid of that, let's get rid of that, let's get rid of that. We have right up here. So once you use this template to make your 5 screens, all you do is publish prototype, and then that got entered in the form. So that's what we're reviewing right now, starting with Hamburger Helper and starting with the first page. Notice how it says 5 screens right down here. Perfect. Hamburger Helper, continue. We can dive in. Welcome back, John. John Doe shared this delicious burger.
Ooh.
I shared a cheeseburger, apparently. I'm into this delicious burger that John Doe shared, and there it is, cheeseburger with fries. They did something that you did as well. Like, look at how good that photo matches.
Yeah.
Like it all
fits together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And imagery is so important.
Yeah, and this is a smart color palette because they know
Yes.
like most food is going to have that warm,
Yes.
orangey reddish, so good call there. Hamburger Helper. Next up, we have Ennis's.
Ooh, I like that. I like the shadows on there. It's nice.
Oh yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good call. Let's
Yeah.
kind of zoom in on that. Herb salad. Scrolling down, good job. I can click on this first herb salad.
Oh, nice.
How to make it. How to make an herb salad. Put a bunch of herbs in a bowl. Done. But I'm gonna go ahead and favorite that one.
Ooh,
Very good.
I like that.
This is like a micro interaction. We do want this, but essentially this is a second screen. That's how they turn that on. Let's kind of go into the different recipes. Let's share it. And then, do you want to redo it? Yes or no? Either way. Okay, nice. Thank you for your kindness. Explore more recipes. Very, very nice.
Oh, yeah,
right?
that's cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so Ennis, good job. This is seafood recipe sharing. Let's take a look right in here. Let's log in with Facebook. Let's discover this seafood. All right. Prepare your palate for a delightful experience. So that's what I'm doing there. Let me see if I got all the screens. So let's click through. Okay, there we go. So I do like how the photo really stands out.
It does.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
So
I like the icons here too.
good
Next
job.
to the new in the top.
If this is yours and you're in chat, like definitely let us know. Because I just have this recipe sharing app is all it says right here. Let's search for your recipe. You can do hashtags so they can be sort of tagged
Yep.
with certain themes: Easter, birthday, Christmas.
That's nice.
I'm not seeing that is anything clickable. Let's go next screen. And by the way, if you didn't link your screens together, that's like we haven't even covered that yet. By the
we're
way.
not even
So
in there.
I kind of don't. I'm impressed that people learned how to do it.
Yeah.
But they designed the different screens, and good job. Continue to work on that one. Looks like it's kind of has some holes that need to be filled. This is nice.
I love foodies.
Foodness.
Foodies of the world unite. I love that.
Discover foodness. Let's start. Oh yeah, that looks good. Let's go into that Burger Buster. There we are. Let's go back. There we are.
Cool.
And just a little FYI, if I go into XD, I notice a lot of people like these screens are different sizes. So if you select activity feed, we did this earlier, but like I want to make sure that this screen, see how the height is 667? For activity feed, I want to turn on scrolling to vertical and then change that to 667. Now it's going to give us that scrollability at
Nice.
that line. So just a little FYI. But good job.
Yeah.
Recipe share. Beautiful photo. Let's start. Nice. Beautiful. Pancakes.
Sounds so good.
They win.
Yeah, I was
Like,
going to say, pancakes
food-
sound great, right?
Yeah.
I want some
You're talking
pancakes
to
right
too,
now.
too hungry and we're like, whoa.
Yeah, it sounds great.
It does. So good job. Color scheme, very clean.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
It's
I like
nice.
that.
Good call. Let's check this one. This is a Dropbox link, so I'm actually, this is not how we said to submit them, but I can maybe download it and kind of take a look. Let's go into easy recipes. They went into the logo. Look at that, the ER. It's
Ooh.
like they're
Oh,
maybe
wow.
eating something.
Yeah, it looks like Pac-Man a little bit.
I really like this font.
Yeah.
I like that.
It is. It's fun. It's playful.
Make this a little larger. Log in.
Okay. Nice cards.
Yeah, nice cards. Good use of just an elegant drop shadow. And let's go into the steps. Here's the ingredients and then the steps. Perfect. So that's fantastic job. 5 screens. Good to go.
Yeah.
So those are fun to look at.
Yeah,
don't
they
you
are.
think?
Yeah, very cool.
We do have to get them pared down, so you have to bear with me a moment and all those details, but yeah, cool. So say likes that one as well. So we're gonna get them narrowed down to like sort of like the top 5 or something,
Okay.
and then we'll talk through them and have you pick.
Okay.
You basically get to give Creative Cloud to somebody.
Awesome.
And break everybody else's heart.
Oh,
so are you
man.
ready to
I
be
think I
such a
am.
heartbreaker?
I
Can we
think I
switch to
am.
your screen and kind of see
Yeah.
where you're at?
Yeah, so just made some tiny refinements to a few of these. Just moved down the overlapping here. So yeah, this is, I guess we'll do this too. We're gonna preview it.
Oh, there you go.
I like to see what this would look like here. And actually, we talked about it being up here.
Ooh, yeah.
So we talked about it being, ooh. It's over here. So this is like a really short screen height. This is just to make sure it still holds up.
I'm still working on that image.
Okay, cool.
We did that background blur.
Yeah, we did.
That's a gorgeous photo.
Yeah.
Placeholders for now. We can license them later. A good sort of rule of 3s is good. You have those 3.
Three here.
Biking,
And
fishing, guided tours.
I'm kind of giving a break from all the imagery. You know, as we're looking through, maybe it makes more sense to flip these, but we'll figure that out.
And again, something I learned from you is like as you scroll, you always have an image on the screen. So you're not seeing a bunch of white.
Yes,
And it gets intriguing as you scroll down to get a glimpse of sort of what's next.
exactly. Yep. Always making sure that it feels like there is content on the screen.
Yeah, so Yeah, so that's a good point. So Jimmy says the bear and the fox seem a little out of place at the top. Yeah, and you talked about, weren't you talking about those like rotating through? Weren't you talking about
I had talked about doing like some sort of gallery of some sort. So to figure out some sort of navigation for that, or if I even wanted to do that.
Yeah, and it might stay, it might go.
Yeah,
like,
and
this is why we appreciate these fresh eyes.
Exactly. So like another thing, my Photoshop files or my XD files get a little crazy. So I might copy and paste this artboard, and maybe on this version I will get rid of these and just see like, does this feel better? So does it feel better to get rid of those images? Were they getting too, cluttered? We have a lot of imagery on here, so maybe it would be better to just kind of simplify it like this and move things down. Like I'm almost wondering, like we've got activities down here. I'm gonna group them just to make it easier to move, and then I'm gonna group this. And again, I have what I had before on this artboard here, just in case I am moving things around and I hate it. It's always good just to focus on that. So I'm just gonna move some things around and see how this feels. So it started to feel like there was just too much imagery up on top. And like, this gray, we're gonna make this white so that it pops out. Maybe do a really light shadow over here.
And I think that's good, because even as people were submitting their designs, it kind of gave us ideas.
It did, yeah. Like right now, I'm incorporating this card and the shadow style that I actually do see quite a bit now.
So Ennis, I think that was Ennis's design. That's like had the elegant shadows. So
yeah, kind of got inspired by that. See, I feel like already, if you look from left to right, like there was just too much going on. There's these images. I think someone earlier had talked about how important it is to kind of like take away as you're going through. I mean, yeah, it works, but it works better, I think, here when you break it up with just having some activity cards and focusing on some things like this. Just makes it feel more cohesive. I'm trying to think, maybe this gets pulled down here and let's get this. I don't know if I like that.
And what you can always do is, like, as you're making these design decisions, to like maybe you have a couple artboards where you're trying out different things,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
So
yeah, the duplicating it's so easy and light and quick too that it's not really that much of a problem. I've got my mobile version. I started. Remember that picture of that bison that totally changed direction, which is so fun to see how it evolves. So I'm feeling like this is a lot stronger already. And then another thing I think is really interesting with what you had pointed out with like the viewport almost as we're going through. I think it's good to make sure that when you're looking at your design, you're not looking at it zoomed out like this. Because this is not how a user is going to see the website. They're not going to see it in this like full, long, tall panel. They're going to see it piece by piece. So I think that's why I really like with XD that you can just do this. Just pop it in here, focuses it on one section.
Yeah, and if you have like multiple monitors, that could be on a separate monitor. You could still design a way, and it will actually change this preview experience.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it just...
That's looking good. I'm excited to like kind of see this progress and try new things and develop like more screens and see the mobile version. We're kind of wrapping up. We should probably now switch to this.
Sounds good.
And dive into, it's all about you. If you submitted designs, I have them all here. We've reviewed all these. I've tried to, just like highlight all of the ones. And this is a new one that came in. I think I missed this one.
Ooh.
So this should be Colludes. Thank you so much for that. Let's dive into this. 6 screens. Let's give it the full screen experience. Slow cooker Philly. Let's start.
Ooh. Yep.
Oh, let's go back actually. Okay. Let's go into this one. Post-Easter reset recipes. Very timely.
I like that. Yep.
Very good. We can probably scroll through some of these eventually as they get worked on. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much. Let's just kind of take a look at all these ones that we kind of have them we have choices and decisions to make, basically.
Yeah.
This one I got was basically a Dropbox link, which when I opened it up, I was missing fonts and different things, which is why we definitely appreciate, having the share link. But this one that somebody sent me from Rachel, in fact, and Nomshare. I got to double check, yeah. Nomshare kind of links to this. I love the little kitty. Okay.
Yep, that's cute.
Cats win on the web. This gets a little washed out.
Yeah.
And really, I think everybody's kind of struggling with just trying to complete 5 screens within an hour.
Yeah.
And I don't blame anybody.
I mean, that's a lot. Like, look, we just got through one page.
We got through one page.
I can understand.
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed.
You're already ahead of us. So continue to work on that. Like, again, essentially we say, like, you have to... it has to be definitely feel like a different app if you're going to submit something like next hour.
Okay.
You can do it multiple times in a day.
Okay.
But it can't look the same. You can't keep submitting the same thing with little tweaks is what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So these are our top ones. This one's good too, again, kind of going through this. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, easy recipes, kind of clicking through that one. Really like these. A lot of this is done. So
Yeah.
it feels more baked than some of these others.
Yeah.
And then we have a lot that start to look the same. Like these 3 look the same. So,
Yeah.
and again, I feel like this one is not as much of a departure from the template.
Yes. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And, as opposed to this one is
I was going to say, yeah.
Definitely kind of ties in a little more. Let me hide that so that doesn't get in the way. This one actually, yeah, there's those 2. Let's kind of click through the screens. This one had pancakes, so that one, that was
and that's
a big...
nice image too. I really like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the images matter.
Yeah. And not trying to put text over the image because I think that would not work in that situation. So it's nice.
Yeah.
It's good.
So, just kind of going through all of these. There's the pancakes as well. Good call. I feel like this one's more fleshed out. So kind of talk me through this, help me out here. Maybe you already have a winner in mind, but these are our top 5. So kind of help maybe we eliminate some or whatever, or tell me your top 3 actually.
The top 3 out of these. So let's go back to the easy recipes. Let's start left to right. So this one, I really, that's nice, kind of splash screen. So is this just I wonder if this is just a loading screen, when you first get into the app.
Yep.
And then you can log in. Okay, and then
crispy sandwiches.
Nice, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. This
ingredients.
Yep.
Steps.
Yep.
Boom.
I do like that there is that local navigation too. It's between the 2 tabs, so I liked that. So that's something I like with the navigation on that one. And then let's look at this one.
Let me get back to the beginning.
Yeah, so this is, again, just kind of the login screen. It's nice, it's simple.
Great
straightforward.
Great photo.
It is. This one I'm a little concerned about with the text beyond the image. I think it gets a little unreadable there. We have all this white space on the bottom. It'd be really nice to just not have that photo be washed out, bring that text down, and just switch that out a little bit.
Agreed.
So, I mean, it's nicer when it gets to this page. So I wish more of the app looked like that.
Okay. Yeah. Good point. So this is it's shining page.
Yeah. And then this one, just this the standard login. I like how simple that is. It's interesting. Yeah. So does it go to different pages with that?
So this one, I mean, I was expecting to see a larger image once I clicked on that.
Yeah.
But they're pancakes. I mean, it's
okay.
Yeah,
it works.
It's okay. So
yeah,
I
don't know how I feel with. Yeah, I don't. And then this
we have about 3
minutes. Okay, so then this one, go through that real quick. That one's okay. It's a lot of orange. I kind of wish there was more.
I liked it on this screen, but it gets to be a little much
on the next page, especially with text. Yeah. So I'm not quite as much of a fan with that one. So I'd say that one. Yeah. Kind of move away from that.
Top 3. So let's have chat help us vote as well. And so you can say left, middle, right. Just kind of going over this last one, which again.
Yes. This one was, it's really nice. It's very, very clean.
Heart.
I will say, with this, this is probably my favorite. I think it does a lot really well, especially with that heart and that interaction, animation. how the image is too. Like you have the herb, like we see it big, we see it on the right,
Beautiful
we see
use
it on
of
the left.
this font's gorgeous there.
It is. And then the label on there too. Yeah, that one's really, really sharp. I like that one a lot. So I definitely say the far
Let's
right.
go with it. Far right.
Yes.
Ennis, we'll double check. I don't know if you just won like last week. Obviously, like, there's might be some situations there, but Ennis, congratulations. This is fantastic. You are a winner for this morning's challenge. Congratulations,
Yes. Congrats.
Ennis. There you are. You are welcome. Thank you, because you did all the work. So we really appreciate the hard work you put into this.
Yeah.
And we just appreciate you joining us today, and everyone joining us today, especially Martha Bergmann, her very first time live streaming with us and hanging out. Did you have a good time?
I did. I had a wonderful time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being so nice to us. Honestly, like, you don't know what to expect.
No, yeah.
And everybody's super awesome, and
Yes.
now we're totally hungry for pancakes.
Yeah, I know. I really want pancakes now. It's still early enough for that, right?
Yeah, that's still early enough.
Totally, yeah.
Well, we're gonna go have pancakes. We do can't be with you all day. You're gonna be back with us tomorrow.
Yep.
9 a.m. Pacific time.
Perfect.
So give her a nice thank you. Christine
thank
Lee,
you.
Talon Wadsworth, right over there.
Yep.
Full day plan. So hang out with us. It's gonna be super fun. Stick around, and thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, everyone.